If you ask me today whether I'd choose engineering or finance if I had the opportunity to go back to college, I'd still pick engineering every single time. And that might surprise you coming from someone whose YouTube channel is almost entirely about personal finance, almost entirely about investing, and almost entirely about building wealth. You'd probably expect me to say that finance was the obvious choice. But in my non professional bro opinion, studying finance and being able to apply personal finance to your life are two completely different things. When I was 18 years old, I just knew I wanted a degree that gave me options to make a lot of money later in my life. A degree that would almost guarantee that I could graduate in 4 years, I could find a job right out of school, and build a stable life. Just living the American dream, baby. And looking back now, after several years of working as an engineer, I think engineering was one of the best financial decisions that I ever made. And I've made a few videos already talking about that. I just think engineering offers an advantage that most people don't really fully appreciate. So, in this video, I'm going to explain why I chose engineering instead of a major like finance, why I'd make the exact same decision again today, and why I actually believe engineering gave me a really great path towards achieving my financial freedom. Now, the biggest reason I chose engineering over something like finance really came down to one thing, that was certainty. When I was 18 years old, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know if I'd enjoy engineering because all I knew at the time was I was good at math, but I really didn't know what engineering would look like in college. I for sure definitely didn't know I'd be making YouTube videos about investing one day, that's for sure. I just wanted a career where if I worked hard in school, there was a really good chance that I'd walk across that graduation stage with a high paying job already lined up, as long as I can network and keep my grades up. That was the main appeal of engineering to me. It felt like one of the safest bets that you could make. Graduate, get hired, make good money, and start building your life. Sounds pretty simple, right? There wasn't nearly as much uncertainty, let's say, compared to a lot of other majors. Now, don't get me wrong here, fellas. Finance can be an incredible career. There are people in investment banking, private equity, let's say working at hedge funds, corporate finance, that are making way more money than I'll probably ever make as an engineer. But I will say, I feel like those jobs are also incredibly competitive, I think, comparatively to the engineering. They tend to recruit more heavily from prestigious schools. That's just how I see it being an outsider looking in. If anyone actually has a finance degree watching this video, please let me know what you think and let me know if I'm remotely close here on my takes. So I'm looking around at all this, right? And meanwhile, engineering has a high demand almost everywhere. And I think the demand is just going to keep going up and up. Whether it's in manufacturing, energy, aerospace, semiconductors, or big oil, which I work in, there are companies looking for engineers all across the country all the time. That gave me a lot of confidence that I'd be able to graduate, find a job, and start investing my money as early as possible. Another reason I don't regret choosing engineering is because I realized pretty early on after college that you don't need a finance degree to become really good with money. And I'm not saying that as a dig on these finance majors because finance as a profession is so much different than personal finance fundamentals. Knowing the intricacies of corporate banking and corporate finance compared to managing your own money are two completely different skills. Almost everything I know about investing today, I learned after I graduated college and I self taught myself. I learned it from books, YouTube videos, and honestly just making mistakes with my own money along the way. And having good mentors at work also helped me a bunch too. Those mentors were just older engineers that taught me things like what an HSA was and why I should invest in it. Then they taught me about Roth IRAs, 401ks, and I just worked my way through YouTube videos and I learned all about the simplicity of ETFs and just all about personal finance. I had to go figure that stuff out on my own without the finance degree, but I did it. The cool thing is, we're living in a time where all that information is basically free. You can learn from finance podcasts while you're driving to work or watch YouTube videos from people who have been investing for decades. If you're willing to spend a few hours each week learning, you can build a really solid foundation and understanding of personal finance without ever stepping foot in a finance classroom. So my thought process was pretty simple. Let engineering give me the high paying career, then I'll teach myself how to invest that income wisely. Now, if I was graduating high school today in 2026 instead of 2017, would I still choose engineering? My answer is yes, without hesitation. Here's the way I look at it. Engineers don't just sit behind a computer all day. At least in my experience, a huge part of the job is solving problems that exist in the real world. You're working with operators, electricians, mechanics, contractors, vendors, dozens of different people trying to figure out how to safely build, fix, or improve something. That is really what the core of engineering is, and there's always problems to fix. That's the part of the job that's really hard to automate. Even with all the AI tools that I use today, I still have to walk equipment down in the field. I have to understand how a process actually works. I have to make engineering decisions, communicate effectively, and ultimately be accountable for the outcome of my projects. AI can make me more productive, but it has not replaced the part of my job that actually creates value for my company. Maybe that's an ignorant take of mine, but at least I believe that. The tools are changing, but the need for people who can think critically and solve problems and take ownership is not going anywhere. If anything, I think engineers who learn how to use AI are going to become even more valuable over the next decade. But man, you know how nice it would be to have ChatGPT and Claude back when I was in school? I feel like it would have made studying so much easier and saved me so much more time. If you're watching this and currently in engineering, let me know down in the comments how you are using AI to help you get through schooling. I'm genuinely curious. When I think about where I am today, engineering has been one of the biggest catalysts for helping me move towards financial freedom. It gave me a stable career right out of college. It gave me an income that allowed me to max out my retirement accounts, invest in my brokerage account every month, build an emergency fund, avoid taking on all this unnecessary debt. It gave me enough financial breathing room to take risks outside of my job too, whether that's starting this YouTube channel or trying different side hustles to create additional income streams. I'm not financially free yet, obviously, and I've still got a long way to go, but I will say that engineering gave me the foundation to start building wealth in my 20s instead of spending all those years just trying to tread water financially. What you do with those opportunities is what really matters. I've met engineers who make great money but spend every dollar that they earn. I've also met people without engineering degrees who are incredible investors and have built amazing wealth over time. Your habits, paired with a good degree like engineering, are exactly what you need to start working towards financial freedom. Engineering just happened to give me a solid starting point, and I'm incredibly grateful that I chose it. So, to wrap things up, if you're in high school trying to figure out what to study, or maybe you're in college debating between going into a major like engineering or a major like finance, I hope this video gave you another perspective to think about. This wasn't meant to convince everyone to become an engineer. There are plenty of amazing careers out there, and finance is absolutely one of them. I just wanted to share why engineering ended up being the right choice for me compared to finance, and how it's played such a big role in helping me build towards my financial freedom. As always, if you enjoyed the video and got some value out of it, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. My goal here is simple: to help young professionals build wealth, make smarter financial decisions, and hopefully reach financial freedom a little sooner than they thought was possible. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.